Hey everybody, Steven here. So this is kind of part two of today's live about my concept design. So that's what we did this morning, and I'm just gonna take that concept and maybe bring it back to Sketchup, so we can have some 3D concepts and can see stuff about in 3D view. So I'm using SketchUp for that. And first, what we're gonna do, it's not here because I just reinstalled SketchUp on this computer, so there's a lot of stuff that's not here. And now I just need to show some stuff. Manage trays. Oh, it's not even here anymore. There used to be toolbars. That's what I need. And I want to show sandbox. Maybe not this one. Section, shadows, solid tools, views, style as well. What's the standard? Don't need standard. Location, layers. Maybe not layers. Have this here. Press close, and I'm just gonna drag down here so I get more view space for the modeling part. And yep, just drag in there. Voila. And this. So that's the one that I was looking for. Add location. Hopefully it's gonna work. And I'm gonna press type Tahiti. Okay, it's not in Congo. French Polynesia maybe. It's funny, there's a Tahiti there. Where is it exactly? Congo, well, it should be in Africa. Okay, what if I try Papeete like this? Okay. And then I'm just gonna zoom into our site. And maybe a little bit more here. Select region, and just gonna resize that, make it more squarish. Oops. And grab. So now the image is projecting to here. The sun parameters are already done properly, and we can start modeling stuff here. I'm gonna first go into the top view, make sure that the camera is set to parallel projection, and I'm gonna save that view so every time I can come back to the top view. I'm gonna save a scene. You can rename that side view. So like if you were go back to here, or change back to perspective view, and if you click on side view, it will just zoom back in. And I'm just gonna go back to perspective. So what I'm gonna do first is maybe quickly model or give some massing on the building that surround our site. I'm just gonna use this pen tool. I'm gonna zoom in. So there's this one here, and you can see that SketchUp will create some guides for you. So at this stage, I'm just going to try to keep everything let's say perpendicular, and I know that this one was I think this one's a lower roof and it was a bit smaller. So this is one building. I'm just going to group that so that when I make this one, it's gonna be two different buildings. I can use the ruler tool here to kind of set the angles and create a guide. Press L to go back to that pen tool and start redoing this. And maybe I make a guide here. You can see this is not really but for now doesn't matter. If you press shift, you can just try to align this, and to close it off, do it here, and I'm gonna create that rear roof that's under there. Select those, like I think it's double or triple click to select everything. I press E if you want to get the little eraser tool, and I'm gonna take this, so I press T to get that tape measure here to create some guidelines, and I'm gonna roughly put it into place. Here and one here. I'm gonna group that, then put some guidelines here, 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 and now maybe one more there. Not really fussed about the dimensions. Right now it's just to get some massing. And I'm gonna make a group, and I think there's one building here as well. Make that as a group, and there's a little one here. It's a bit recessed in, or maybe I think it's just that the wall is slanted, or maybe we'll just keep it straight for now. Let's put it like this, and maybe I'm just gonna do the outline at this building here, because this is quite a big building, and like that. I'm just gonna make something like this. Might not be correct, but it's okay. Let's do those ones here. Is that even perpendicular? Doesn't look like it. Make sure I'm on the top view, and doesn't look perpendicular. Make a guide. And maybe this one, I'm gonna bring it here. So I'm pressing M. I'm selecting like some of the line, pressing M to just drag it down. I think it's showing like this because of the angle of the photos. So that's actually the roof, and because there's the building has certain height, and just gonna make that a bit shorter, maybe align with that, and I'm just gonna make a guideline here. Okay, I think it's triple click, so I'm gonna make a group, my group, and now I'm just gonna select all those guidelines, just clean up everything, and I'm just gonna extrude a little bit. If I go back to here, just to get an idea, I mean, I think I could use Sketchup to get those images of Street View and kind of stretch it to get an idea of the height. But let's say we'll take that woman as a scale, let's say 1.6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. For maybe we'll say it's like 7-meter high building. And let's go back to SketchUp. So I'm going to take that building, double click to get inside the group, press P to get the push pull, and I'm just going to move that 7-meter high. This building is slanting, so we're just going to, and it's going like halfway. We're going to say the wall is about maybe 2 meters. So this one's going to be 3.5, oops, 1,500. And we get that walls going all the way there. That little building is a pitch roof, and we're just gonna put 3 as well. We're gonna make a line in the middle, and maybe we're just gonna, so now like I'm using the protractor tool because I want to create an angle along here, along that plane. So you put your protractor along the plane you want to do it, you press shift, and then it will lock it, it won't move anymore, because if you release a shift, it change planes. So sometimes it will then go directly to where you want, but if you press shift, it won't move. And then you press the reference line once, and now you can just set it to any angle that you want. So now I'm going to do 25. Then I'm going to take the tape measure tool, bring it here. So now I get the intersection point. I can select that ridge line, press M to move it up. So now I get this little house. And what I can do now is to create a guideline, make a wall maybe 200 mm thick. As you can see, sometimes it doesn't do it properly because that rectangle is it only works well in orthogonal view, because if you go back to asset view, this wood is actually at an angle, so it's better to use maybe this tool, rotate it. So make sure you're on this axis here, click here, and then you can pull it there. And we're going to set a wall maybe 2 meter high, and make sure that's grouped. Then I'm going to put a tape measure to 2.5, and then drop this one, so you get that monopitch roof. Okay, now let's go to the other side. I mean, you can see here it's broken. We could add some more details later on if we want to in like a final models. Let's go on the other side. So here I'll say it's 7 meter as well. Come on. I should have just get out. So you see, I think this one, that was the lower roof. I think this one will just set up to 7 meters as well. I think they're all kind of 2-story, and this one I'm gonna be 2.5, and delete that edge. This one's gonna be the same. The one at the back, same as this one. and this one here, oops, sometimes if you see that it's blue instead of white, you can select all the faces here, so I like triple select, and then reverse faces. So now when you pull, it's all white. And maybe here we can create that pitch roof. So I'm just gonna exit and redrop the little guy there. And as you can see, this one is a kind of like a flat roof, and this one has got a hip roof. So I'm just gonna go back to here. I'm gonna select that roof, and what is it here? Let's get 25. No overhangs. I'll create a hip roof. So this little add-on that I got, you can just get it from extension warehouse, and it's this first one here, 1001 bit tool, and then you will get all those things. Really helpful, allows you to model much faster. And this one, let's say we're gonna put 9000, and I think, oops, let's select everything and reverse. I'm gonna put 10k. Oops, that's 1000, and this one maybe 5. This one is quite tall, so we're gonna say maybe 20 meters, and this one's gonna be 30 meters. Might be wrong, I'm sure it's wrong, but for now we're gonna leave it like that. And I think we have a wall going all the way here to there. Let's check that. So there's that wall there, and it's connecting in front of that house. So actually that building is going here. I wonder if maybe I'll have to keep those things in my concept. And yeah, so let's see, take that here and here. So we're gonna create that wall there, and maybe I'm just gonna add that little extension. How far does it go? Maybe like a third of it. Run here, and I'm gonna lift that up 3 feet. And now to create that wall, because here's an angle, so I'm just gonna create one line here. Select, double click to select that, and there's this tool here, offset, so I can offset it inside or outside. I'm gonna offset inside, and I'm gonna press 200, and it will create my other line. And now I just need to close it off on each end to create a face. And now I'm just gonna pull that up, 2000. Okay, so now we got a site. Of course here there should be like an entry here as well, but I don't know exactly yet, but that's fine. Concept SketchUp, always save. So now that we got our site, maybe, I mean, it would have been important to design the street as well, because I really want to get that connection between the building and the Parc Bougainville, and maybe with that side as well in the future. And maybe because right now our site if we were to look at the map again, I think if we turn on cadastre, will show us the boundary of what we're working with. So we get this. I think that's the site that I'm using. It'd be cool if you could use those as well, maybe in the future, if they're repurposed, because I think those one are also admin building, but let's just work with that first. And I'm just gonna trace the side view. It's not going all the way there. I don't know why I went all the way. So this one, I'll push it back. Who knows? Oh, actually, maybe it is, huh? So this is here, and here. Yeah, because I did it here. There's a little angle there. So maybe I'm just gonna take that and angle it. So this is gonna be a wall as well. I'm gonna offset it, create a 200 millimeter wall, close it off, pull it 2 meters. It's weird here, it doesn't show. Maybe they made an extension. Let's go back up here. Oh, yeah, it does show there's something. So maybe it's slower. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna bring that over here and just gonna take that line, make a copy. So I'm selecting it and press Ctrl to get the little plus. Put this here, and I'm gonna pull it all the way there. And that wall, I'm gonna create a line here, and I'm gonna pull it toward the other side, so we'll shorten that wall. Okay, so now we get our site. As you can see here, there's like a I think like a pond, or maybe it's just a shadow of the tree, but I think there is some type of pond there. I think I saw it on that map here. Yeah, there's a little pond there. So there are car parks. Okay. Maybe here. I'm just gonna find the center, and I'm gonna make a door. Let's say 3 meter, and 1.5, 1.5. I'm gonna make a rectangle. And create an arc. I think they should be lower. So that's gonna be my entry to the site. And okay, let's go back to what we had here. So I said that we might have a underground. Let's see, take that. So I'm just created this. So about 3,000 square meter. Wait, I'm just gonna change the units so it's easier to read. I'm gonna put it into meters. And precision to that much. 3,000 square meter. I grouped it, and let's see. You're gonna take that. We're gonna give it some. We're gonna make a copy. Move it 3,000. Oops, didn't move. Ah, 3.5. Because now we changed to meters. So, and I'm going to give you a thickness. Let's say 0.4. And so if that's the building covering everything, but of course we gonna not have that long. 3.4, and then we're gonna do it by 2. That's kind of the height of the building that we would have. I'm just thinking if it's gonna be too high, because right now, of course, you wouldn't see it that way because there's trees here. But where is it? There's this view there. So let's go further in. So I mean that's what you would see around here. That big. What we could try to do is let me try something. Snip tool. Okay, it's not even there. Snipping tool, and I'm just gonna save this image, and yeah, so now that's step, and then you would have maybe one floor here, one floor there. Of course the perspective is not right, but that's what you kind of would see. There's like a 1, 2, 3. Because there's be one here. Full level. That might be too high. And then you would have levels at the bottom as well. Oop. Yes. So what I'm gonna do now is to just save that. I'm gonna create a layer. I'm gonna call that floor plates, just for now. And I'm gonna change that to floor plates. So now I can hide that, and it's not gonna be there anymore. Okay, let's see. Let's try to just draw in some maybe those elements, and try to get that void inside. So maybe this is gonna be I guess it would be demolished in some ways. I don't think we need that anymore. So maybe to demolish. This and this is gonna be demolished, and I'm gonna turn that off. So I'm gonna create one rectangle. I think this one, that's where I wanted to have my like theater or something. And just gonna push it. Let's say 12,000. Oops, 12 meters. Group that, and I'm gonna make one here as well. 16 meters. Gonna leave a gap, 6 meters. Try to keep things perpendicular. And this is gonna be, let's say 10 meters, 7 meters. Oops, I always forgot that I changed the settings. Make a group. I think I'll have to make it a bit recess. I know there's already a footpath, or maybe 3.5. I'm gonna make a line here. Maybe this is gonna be pushed outside, kind of similar, and be in line with this. So it will create little space where people can walk underneath. And I think I was saying earlier that I wanted stuff to come out. So this is gonna be demolished. The walls. Demolish. And I'm gonna make a new one. Maybe that's gonna be along here, 200. Oops, 0.2. And I'm gonna make it higher. Say 10 meters. And this is the maybe the facade. And I'm gonna lift it 3.5. And this is the wall where everything is pushing out. That's gonna come here, and I'm gonna drop it that, and so I can just bring it this side. And maybe this one's pushing out. And 5. So there's one more here, so I can just add a rectangle in there. Oops. Make sure you press shift. Shift. Oh my god, doesn't work properly. So I'm just gonna create a rectangle on that face here. I'm gonna push it out, push that out, create a line here, bring that in. And how big is this? 8 meters. So I'm just gonna drop it by 1. Double click on that, make sure it's as its own group, and I'm just gonna make it kind of grid. Try to stick to the plane, and maybe this one's gonna be higher. And gonna take this, gonna make a copy, just move it along there. Maybe this, the bottom part is gonna go up even more, 7 meters. Maybe it's just the top part that's connected. And I'll change the width. Make sure you make a guideline so you move it in a straight line. And gonna make another one there. So maybe I'll just take this, take it like that, move it. Maybe this one is not going outside, and maybe it's touching this. And here I can have that void. Gonna make one here, and I'm just gonna move that. So yeah, I'm just placing them randomly, but the point is to place different spaces, just like the village. This one's gonna be longer, and maybe we're gonna have a last one. Around that side. And maybe this one will actually go over the existing building. So maybe we're gonna keep that, and we'll go over that, and maybe I'll have one this 3.5, and this also will go over there like that. And maybe this is the cube I was saying that's going all the way on top of this building there. And I'm just gonna intersect model, so it create that line here and around there. And yep, so now we're gonna create our voids. So maybe actually this one, I'm gonna make it a smaller one here and push that one. Okay, so now let's create our voids. So this one, floor plates. I have to turn that off. And so maybe around here. And now I'm gonna pull that up, make that as a group, and maybe move it so it touch this one as well. Right now, how big it is? 20 meter. Ooh, that's quite a big one. But maybe it's okay. Okay, maybe a bit smaller. It's quite. And maybe this one's gonna be inside a bit more, so maybe align with this. And now what I'm gonna do is select all of those ones, and I think it's I need to do 2 solid. Oh no. What we can do is actually just intersect with model, and now it didn't. Maybe it needs to go over. Intersect with model. So I did create that line. Here, intersect with model. Intersect with model. Model. And then we can delete that. And now we can just pull it down. Same one here. I think I should have kept the cylinder first and actually create that thick wall that I needed. Maybe 0.6, and then I'm gonna bring that down, so that's gonna be the wall. That would be used for like a structure. And maybe we can just drop that down and delete the bottom part. Okay, let's do one here. Maybe a smaller one. Go up. And kick that. Intersect with model. I didn't. I have to go over. Intersect with model. Intersect with model. And this one I'm gonna do the 0.6. Drop it down. Go inside here. Inside here. And voila, I get my voids. Maybe the voids will be a bit higher, so that can act kind of like skylights. I'm thinking if I could have a roof. Yeah, this one should be smaller. and maybe this one higher, 3 meters, and of course this one should be even higher. And then I can have a roof plate. Just get on the floor plates here. Like that floor plate's really nice. And 1 meter. Maybe just increase it to another 1 meter. So like maybe I can have some type of roof garden here at the top. And of course here I need to intersect the model, and then I can create that void here. The plates here, intersect the model, get that void, the one at the bottom, and I don't know if it did here. Maybe I need to put that wall as a facade, and I'm gonna move it there, turn it off so I can see inside. Make group. I didn't do it properly here. I think I extruded some extra faces that I don't need. I don't need those lines. And what's this one? This one needs to be deleted. Oh, okay. Let's see. There's those extra line. Anyway, this is just a concept. Everything would need to be cleaned up a lot of the stage. Oops. Okay. And yeah, maybe this one could just pull up from that side, or maybe the floor plate on this one could be aligned, because I mean that's the other property. Press K if you want to go in between, but it's not showing here. So maybe just move that along, and we're just going to remove that part there. Not lining up properly. Oops. And drop it. Turn this one and put that back in place. And push that in. And maybe we're just gonna delete this one and copy this one. I'm gonna drop it 3.5. So now we get a building that's popping out on here. And maybe we could do the same for that side. that. 3.5. And raise that up. Sometimes you can't delete it, just means that it's in a group, so you just have to click on the line until you get inside the group that has that line. Make sure you save, and I'm going back in perspective view. Sometimes it looks a bit better. Oops. Oh yeah, so when I extruded it went all the way down, but in a way that's kind of the next stage I was gonna do. So I'm gonna take this one here and I'm gonna drop it 7,000 because I would need the one at the bottom, and maybe 7,000 again. Oh, oops. Actually, it's just this, and 3 point, maybe 5 meter if it's a car park. And maybe this one is a bit higher. Maybe I could use this one, the bottom, as the like the mechanical area. Double click. Cool. Okay, and what did we talk about again? I think there was a part where maybe we can play with split level. I mean, because those boxes actually would be like empty, so it would be stuff like onto offset 0.4, and it will actually be like that. So it's an empty space, and if I take that, make a copy a bit above, make that as a group, and offset it by that amount, and this can be the roof of that space. It's really important, so when we do like sections, so section was this one. So right now, because it's inside a wall, it would show black, but if you move it a little bit, then you would see the space that's created, and beforehand it was just black. So I think that's why it's important to give some thickness here, so you can visualize the different spaces. And I'm just going to delete that sections for now. And yeah, so this is the style. For some reason it switched to the monochrome one, turned white and gray. Just have to switch to that to get the texture back in. And let's put back the facade. I think the facade, I need to have it maybe it's the floor plate that needs to be pushed in. So I'm just going to push that floor plate in. I think it's easier to push the facade out. Let's say 1.3, 1.3, and this one 1.3 and 1.3. And maybe actually the facade will be different. but I'm not too sure I can break it, because maybe I have one facade here and this one already start to change to another one. So maybe there's one that's gonna come through here. It's okay, and drop it here. Move it. So maybe that could be another facade, and this is gonna be this, and maybe I can pull it down. And or maybe what if I do like louver type, like horizontal ones? Like that. I'm gonna give it thickness of 0.2, make as a component, so if I change the design of this, it will change on the similar component. I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna divide by 6. Yeah, stuff like that. And so maybe this one or an element of it needs to go all the way down, so it will allow me to kind of change the facade. And maybe I don't need that wall demolished, because I do want to maybe I could have an entry here. I do want to see the post, so I think maybe this one doesn't need to go all the way down, and this wall there should be much higher. So maybe this is the existing one. I'm gonna make a copy, one that I'm gonna put as demolished, and so this one's gonna be the new one, and I'm gonna lift it up to kind of enclose it, and maybe 2 meters, and this is gonna go all the way to here. So now you wouldn't see it. What's this one? Yep. Zoom out. And now maybe I should put some of the structure. I was telling you about how, I think it was on which concept, like those ones here, the columns that would represent French culture or politics that would kind of surround the Tahitian culture. Video, thanks. I just saw the comments. And okay, let's just make some posts. I think the posts need to be quite big, maybe not 1 meter, but let's see, 0.6, and I'm gonna bring it all the way to the roof, and that we're gonna set it as a component. And let's go into the side view and make sure it's parallel, and maybe from here, and spacing maybe every 8 meters by 10. Let's see how far it goes. Let's go all the way to here, which is fine. I'm just gonna select all of them, and maybe I'm just gonna move it so it's a bit centered to here. Yes. I forgot. I mean, because they're all columns, so it would be better to just group them, easier to move after. So select all of them, make group, and just move into place. I don't need those two, that's outside. And let's see how it looks. Demolished, and make sure it's camera perspective. So I was saying that one of the parts kind of needs to fill. Wait, can I check this one? I'm just gonna add some color just so we can see through materials, glass, and I'm gonna use this so I just can see through the model. And this one's gonna, oops, I'm zooming out. Maybe I don't need that building for now, just delete that. I mean, I don't know what you think right now, but it's just a test. And maybe here I could play, so that would be like the ancient Tahiti, the one from the colonial era, and then this is gonna be like the autonomy. Wait, let's see. I'm just gonna create the thickness of the walls, and so it's 8 meters. We're gonna do 0.7, 7.6, and let's see. Let's get a section tools. So that's what it looks like. And as you can see, I would need some type of columns or beams that's running along there. And let's put in a floor of this size. That's because it's intersected, so I'm just going to delete the top line. I think this needs to be deleted as well. It will just give us a better idea on the type of space I'm making. Of course, in the future, when I know exactly what I want to put in the program, it will be different. Maybe this one needs to be like that. So there'll be a thick wall. And to get a 0.4. Right, this one I'm just gonna bring that back in. Put a guideline and just drag it along the guidelines and bring it all the way to the bottom. And we're gonna do the same for this. 0.4, and maybe this one. Okay, we're just gonna bring it all the way 3 meters is fine. And what's this one? Is it a building? Huh, this one didn't. Okay, let's do a quick section just to see how it looks like. And so now align view. Make sure you're on a parallel projection, and now you get a better sense of the different spaces. What I do is let me turn it this I think there's a mode where I can change the edit. I don't want to see the model axis. I think you can change the sky. You can turn it to white if you want to. And yeah, I don't know why it doesn't turn black this size. Anyway, you can see that's what we have so far. I think the post doesn't need to be as tall, so we can just reduce the height of them. So I'm just scaling them down. And maybe I can just, I mean, the underground wouldn't have exactly the same shape. Just gonna turn them off. I think the underground we can just keep it as a triangle. And it doesn't even need to be all the way to here. So maybe the underground's gonna be just, let's see, until here. Okay, I'm gonna delete those ones. And 0.4. Press OK. And I'm gonna increase that to 5 meters. So that can be underground. And I think I need to create a wall around that. So I'm just gonna use that. Make a group. Take that. Control C. Get out of the group here, and I think it's paste in place. Now I can just create the wall, make it thicker, 0.6, and I can bring it up. I'll take that wall, make a group, make a copy, paste in place, or paste. I can just snap it into here, select the top edges, and just drag it down. So now we can do a section again, and I'm gonna place it here. Oops. And I'm gonna move it. And voila. So now we get the spaces underneath. Okay. I think that's it for today. Oh, there's a little contour. But yeah, I'll work on that concept a bit more. Let me know what you think, and yeah. See ya.